to bring that one too? Sometimes a couple of them will get a go. Look. She's worked rats, right? This is the one I worked with you.
Oh, lucky.
So we got to take the general out and we learned about a play date and the fact that there are these communities inside of this particular dog or breed that come together and they allow the dog to be a dog. Now, what does that mean? Well, if you ever played sports, there's a place for football players to go. There's a place for tennis, soccer, basketball. There's a place where you can go and be all that you can be. If you're a person who loves your country, you can go to the military, depending on who you're talking to. What we learned is that we got a lot of work to do, but even more importantly, we learned how much fun you can have in just a small, short window of enjoying the dog's life. Meaning, hey, this Jack Russell Terrier and Jack Russells alone were bred for ratting and vetting per se, dealing with small varmint. The stories, the videos, the challenges where you go, wow, all that for this dog. And the big play date that's coming, we'll get to see it all in action. But let me just paint a picture. Well, first things first, they do a fun race. They put muzzles on. We saw a dog that had a muzzle on, and he didn't like that. The other dog was winning, so what did he do? He shoulder bumped him. When he shoulder bumped him, other dog lost sight, and then boom, they go, and they got muzzles on, so nobody's getting busy. Well, if you ever seen a Jack Russell run 200 yards, you're never going to get to it fast enough to stop a fight from breaking out, because you're either here or you're there. But the fight took place here. So they're literally over the fence in a garden getting at it. Muzzle that dog. Because if they get at it, Angela showed us that at one point she almost lost a finger trying to break up a Jack Russell fight, because they are terriers and they're super motivated. Now, they have a soft pad, so the dog, boom, he gets through there and he hits that thing hard. And first one in, last one you lose. So I might have to one day get me one named Ricky Bobby. Just say, hey man, this is Ricky, that's Bobby, and we gonna shake and bake them. So we just don't know, cause now I'm interested in getting me a Jack with some jets on him. And the general, he did good. It is a wire contraption that they use and pull out. They press a button and it pulls that thing so fast. And then they start like greyhounds and the things, and they pull it back and the dogs take off. And the ones that know what they're doing, oh, they're gone. It's like when I'm watching one of those little ducks hit the water. Boom. Next thing we did, go to ground. Go to ground, you put the dog in a maze and you see if it is willing to work. One of the rules is if it gets through the maze and going to ground, it gets to the edge. At the edge, they actually have the rat in a small cage, but a cage to break up the cage because they want to see the dog scratch and engage. The dog has to stay engaged. Mind you, it cannot get to the rat, but it has to stay engaged for almost 30 seconds. Otherwise, it gets disqualified. If it retreats, it gets disqualified. So the dog's led off into a tunnel. Darkness. It's got a left turn, a right turn, sometimes a zigzag, sometimes a clear situation that you get to watch. And it gets to go to work. That was interesting. And mind you, I still don't know all the rules. And one of the things they do to encourage the dogs to keep at it was they put this thing in there so it can't even retreat. And then do all they can to motivate it. God, they were so helpful. Then we turn around. We got to see them go get on some livestock, aka a raccoon, bless his heart, and a possum. He said, man, that possum stinks. I tell you this, I don't know that I've ever been that close to a raccoon, but he said them things are real handsy too. He said, I'm talking about you grab the cage and carry him, put him up, and you turn around and he'll grab your pocket. He's whoa. And that would be a little freaky to say the least. So no harm was done to any animal, people. Even when I asked him 3 different ways off camera, when he's done with the raccoon, he literally takes it upstream, lets it loose, go back into the wild. He catches it to motivate the dog, because at times he might get a phone call from a farmer as far as literally Virginia, and they said, hey, you got some dogs down there, we'd love to get some assistance getting rid of some groundhogs even. So get this, the groundhogs, they dig these deep holes, and you send your dog down there, and the groundhogs are motivated. They got teeth like a beaver, as he said. And while your dog is in there trying to get to this groundhog, for one, he only can go in. Then he got to back out. So he's got to be real motivated and cognitive about how to use his body. The groundhog's such a good digger that it will push and create walls up. And while it's doing this and your dog's getting through, it might be swiping through scratch. You say, now why would you do this with your dog? How was he supposed to get rid of a groundhog? Now, if he does get the groundhog and you believe that the groundhog has come to its end, he said, I got a tracker to tell you exactly where the hog is at, groundhog, and then how deep it is. He said, I need somebody about your size. See how me dig some of those holes. He see me, got excited. He said, man, I tell you, we could dig some holes to use around. I ain't going back to digging holes. Just so we clear. My dad had me digging holes when I was a kid. When holes came out, when I got in trouble, I ain't doing it. It was awful. And he said, you know, sometimes it'd be 6 feet. I said, yeah, I've been there. Ain't happening, buddy. Ain't happening. Them days is over. But we did learn a lot. I got to enjoy the play day. I got to learn about the Jack Russell Terrier. I literally had no clue what was going on. You ever walk into a thing kind of like going to school for the first time, a new school, and you don't know what to happen. What we do know is people embraced us. They were kind. They were respectful. They were helpful. They're like, no, just let me know. Oh, I love him. They were like, oh, right here. Hey, did you want to do it again? And they were patient. That's what was important to me. It's that they were patient. They had an area where they put the brush around a rat because they want to see if the dogs get interested in that. Like, hey, well, how do you get him motivated? Well, let's get him searching. Now, the general, I believe he knows where that limit is and what he can defend. So he didn't get on the raccoon, but he was motivated by the rat. The rat looked like something he could deal with. That raccoon looked like a problem. So he said, no, sir. He wasn't even interested in that raccoon. And there were some pups out there that were super motivated. And we'll talk more about how we believe we're going to create some motivation at another time. But for now, people, play dates are a thing. There are 4 more. We'll have a big one. And I think I'm taking Ego to one of the play dates. I think he'll surprise us and do something, especially if he sees dogs doing it. So I'm curious. It's not as fast as those little dogs. But I think if he gets mad enough, and not even angry, he'll get fixated on something. You'll see him eyes light up. Then he'll want to know what's going on. Like, hey, I want in. Let me out. Guys, for now, take care of your dogs. Shout out to all the Jack Russell people who keep honoring the integrity and nature of the dog. I appreciate you guys. I'm so glad I'm a part of you guys' community, and we learned so much there.